It's the Unity Reunion Parade, Cookout, Line Dance Party, Backyard, Barbecue, Fish Fry, Vegan Soul, Black Business, Food Truck, Networking, Outdoor, Concert, Music Festival, Celebration of the Year, featuring Tidra Moses, Talib Kweli and Jay Walls, Marsha Ambrosius, Common and Pete Rock. Get tickets now at OhioBlackExpo.com. That's OhioBlackExpo.com.
African Diaspora News Channel will be broadcasting live. Join Phil Scott, Vicky Dillard, and Demetra Kay in C-Bus. Get your tickets today.
Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At CPRFirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at CPRFirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Before Gobella even made me forget this, we got Gobella in the building. Like, when's it drugs? Blah, 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 blah. Tell me, can you please tell me what is this Sleigh Queen? Brains, they connect, right? She looks how she thinks.
In my understanding, a Sleigh Queen is just a clean lady who doesn't want to work, who just want things to just come to her easy. Other than that, I don't know. That's what I know.
Watch Sleigh Queen only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
What if I told you there's a news platform made just for us? Unfiltered, unapologetic, telling our stories from Africa and the diaspora. The African Diaspora News Channel app keeps you informed and empowered from wherever you are at any time. Don't just watch, join the movement. Download the app now and stay connected to the news that matters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream this evening. We want to get started just a little bit early because I have a lot to go through. Of course, we're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders and that draft and what that really was, what we saw over the weekend, right? It wasn't about just sports. It was definitely a lot of racial politics that we, racism, white supremacy is in every area of activity, including entertainment. Sports is part of entertainment. It's nothing that these people are in control of that don't have any kind of anti-black racism. But what people don't know how to do is look at the nuances of it, know when you're seeing it, when you're not seeing it, listen to what they say about the defense of it, on all of that. So we'll get to that. But just to go, I need to go through a few things first, and everything while people are slowly coming on in here. If you have the ADNC app, and I'm speaking to the Android users in particular, please go to the Google Play Store and update the app. There's a new update for you because some people are having some issues, and there's a new update. So this is only, I'm talking to Android users only. Go and update the app so you can have the new fix that's out there for the app. I greatly appreciate that. I know we'll be all the people who are definitely part of our mailing list. You'll be getting probably a reminder about that. And also to the second thing that we're going to, I want to go through and I'm going to try to get through it fast as possible. The next trip that we were discussing is already now available. If you would like to go with us to Ghana in November, I'm going to go through the itinerary with you real quick. Won't take too long, much of your time. And just so you can kind of see, explain some things and price points and all of that. So let me go ahead and get to that because somebody was always asking, when's the next one? When's the next one? When's the next one? Now, at first, I wasn't going to do anything the rest of the year, but I was saying, you know what? We were discussing it and say, well, we can do more than one in 1 year, right? I mean, from what I'm been talked about, we can actually do 4 in a year, right? But I would really have to see how that would work out. But let me go ahead on and get to my other screen here so y'all can see what we're talking about. I know I posted this on the community tab over the weekend, but, I like to go through it first to talk to y'all about it. Then, I won't do that no more than other than just kind of be kind of promoting. All right. So we're all doing another tour with Maximum Impact Travel. Brother Jay Cameron, and shout out to him and his team at Maximum Impact Travel. That's a lot of FBAs right there on the screen here. Now, of course, these are people that want to travel. I'm not saying everybody may not want to, but there's many people here that want to travel, that want to move around. And then you look at these dates here, it won't, interfere with the holidays, nothing like that. So, of course, the deposit is $199, of course, and you make payments on that. So, on the itinerary, of course, on the 14th, you arrive in Ghana as well on the 14th. They'll tell you you'll be staying at the Tang Palace Hotel or comparable. Once you check in, you'll be able to chill out and got Wi-Fi, spa, restaurant, room service, all of the amenities that you need, air conditioning, wheelchair accessibility. Okay. Day 2, you go to the historic Accra tour. That one, you'll kind of see here. I'm not going to read every part of it, but we'll provide the link for you if you want to get to that. Now, I want to go see all that because I need to see all of that just so I can say I've been there. I was in these locations. I know where some of our ancestors left from. I got to see that for myself for sure. Now, this day 3 is an African naming ceremony and batik class. So you're having a Asante naming ceremony where local elders bestow upon you an Akan name, and they say a beautiful cultural tradition. Then tap into your creative side with a batik making session, learning wax-resistant dyeing techniques from skilled local artisans, design and take home your own handcrafted fabric. Of course, breakfast is included, lunch and dinner not included, but our itinerary may change. Okay, then here they got a cooking class and a chocolate factory. Now, Ghana is one of the places that a lot of chocolate is sourced. So they said that, you'll go into Ghana's culinary and cocoa legacy, which first enjoy authentic Ghanaian cooking class, which cooking classes are cool. Where you'll learn how to prepare local favorites using fresh spice and traditional techniques, and head to a bean-to-bar chocolate factory where you'll discover how Ghana's world-renowned cocoa is transformed and even craft your own chocolate creation. So that's also good, especially those of you who like to try something new. You have the Slave River and Slave Dungeons tour. Definitely, want to see that. And Cape Coast, I know a lot of you heard about Cape Coast. I know a lot of you have seen the different people that went there to the Cape Coast Dungeon and all of that, and Door of Return and all that. So then the 6th day, it's a free day. You can do whatever you want. They say you can go to the spa, you can go to the beach, do whatever. The 7th day, You can do some drumming, or you can discover some hand-woven kente cloth, traditional craft souvenirs. You also enjoy an authentic drumming lesson, connecting you rhythmically with Ghana's rich musical heritage. And then the 8th day, it's not that long. It said then you'll be heading back to the crib. Okay. So what does the trip include? Hotel accommodations, double occupancy, or single. So you want to travel with one of your partners or whatever, you can do double. Or you want to be by yourself, or single. A lot of people travel usually in groups. Of course, breakfast in the morning, hotel upgrades available upon request. If you want like a suite or whatever, that's on you. Of course, ground transportation, you're good on that. Hotel amenities, admission to activities, breakfast, and welcome dinner. All right. So now, what the trip does not include any kind of vaccinations, a yellow fever vaccine. I took it in 2018, so I don't need that anymore. Or medical exemption. Like some people got conditions where they can't take that, so they get an exemption. Malaria pills are advised. Now, according to Brother Stanley, that's our brother who works in Ghana. He's one of our editors, and he said the possibility of you getting malaria in Accra is like 1% to 2%. But if you go out there to them villages, he said you better be careful because every time he go to the village, for some reason he gets it. So you can take those pills if you would like. Of course, your passport, you got to have that. And a valid visa to enter. It said, please don't wait until the last minute to obtain your visa. Some countries allow border entry visas upon arrival, so they give a website about that. Lunch and dinner. So you'll be responsible for your own lunch and dinner and snacks. You'll be afforded the opportunity to purchase lunch and dinner daily. Now, some people may be like, well, before in certain companies, let's say like the Real South Africa, well, all that was included. Well, here's the issue. If you have a peanut allergy, if you have some sort of allergy, if you have lactose intolerant, you're vegan, something, right? You're paying already wrapped into the trip for a meal that you're not going to even eat. Then you have to come out of pocket for something else, right? So it's better it be you do your own. Now, international airfare. You have to book your own flight. That's how it was with Ethiopia. The reason why I think that's okay, because if you have points, like I use points sometime, and I've saved money with Delta because I've had points, right? Some of you may have that. Now, you want to save money flying out. The way you save money is fly out of JFK in New York or fly out of D.C., Washington, D.C. That's how you're going to save the most money on any kind of international flight. Of course, travel insurance, medical, travel insurance. So, that's always highly recommended no matter where you go. Gratuities, if you choose to tip somebody, that is on you, okay? Now, of course, double occupancy, as you're talking about 2 rooms, it would be $199 deposit. Now, I've met some of you will pay that whole thing like it's not nothing. Some people may pay payments. You can work with them on how you want to make your payments. It's just a standard way of doing it here where they have that. Single occupancy like by yourself. That's what that cost is, and child discount would be that, okay? I will leave. Matter of fact, let me put this in the chat right now. Where's the chat? Let me go ahead and get off the screen. Let me switch. I want to go through that real quick before we get started with anything else. Let me put this in the chat, and then I can pin it. Let me see, in case you say you want to look at it yourself. Now you may say, you know what? I feel like taking my lady. I feel like, going with my mama, my daddy. I want them to see some things. Take family. I always say take families. And one thing about Ghana, there's a lot of FBAs in Ghana. So you'll run into a lot of FBAs. You can get to see how they live. A lot of FBAs got businesses in Ghana, Accra in particular. A lot of them live there. So I think that country, you run into a whole lot more FBAs than you would maybe other places. Like we just went to Ethiopia, and FBAs being there is far and few in between, but it was a good trip. I really enjoyed the Ethiopia trip. Ghana, like I say, has a lot of FBAs. I mean, they even have a organization with I think it's a Black American, African American organization there. So you definitely could get some, insight from a lot of the FBAs that's over there in Ghana. Those who chose to live over there, right? Now, some of us just want to travel and go visit for a week, and then we come on back to the good old United States of America. No issue, no problem. There's nothing wrong with traveling the world. I believe all Black people should travel the world and see everything. Every country you could think of seeing. Go ahead and see it. Why not? Enjoy yourself. Have fun, ladies and gentlemen. I see people slowly coming in. I know we started a little early tonight. Let me check this. Let me check this thing here. I'm looking what y'all saying. You say Ethiopia. Oh, okay, Kellen said Ethiopia. Yeah, Ethiopia was cool. I can go back to Ethiopia every year. It was really cool. Those of you who missed that, I think you should have came. But like I said, hey, it's 25 people for this trip, 25. So jump on ASAP so you won't get left out. 25 people. All right. Let's get to Shedeur. Let's go ahead and get to Shedeur, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to Shedeur. So we know that recently there was the NFL draft, and the NFL draft, Shedeur Sanders, he played with Colorado. Of course, his father is Deion Sanders. His brother Shiloh was also on the team as well, and also Travis Hunter was on the team, and all three of them young brothers went into the NFL draft. But Shedeur was projected to go in the first round draft. And as you know the story, he did not go in the first round. Many people were shocked. All the analysts were shocked with, from ESPN, Fox Sports, any other people, other people doing social media platforms. Everybody was shocked that he didn't go in the first round. I say, okay, maybe he'd go in the second round. And then the second round came, and Shedeur Sanders did not go in the second round. And so everybody was baffled, whether you're not even a sports fan. Everybody was baffled, okay? People who do this every day, sports every day, NFL, they all just couldn't believe that. Then the third round got there. Didn't pick him up at all. And they're like, well, what is going on? It led people to speculate. So many people have made comments say, oh, man, they're trying to, this is racial. They're trying to humble him. Oh, they're making him suffer because his father, Deion Sanders. So he didn't end up getting picked until late. I think, was it fifth round? 144th pick, I think it's fifth round or so. He ended up getting picked up, right? But I want to talk about the politics of all of that tonight, the politics. Even what the folks had to say. Of course, there was a prank call that his number was given out to the son of, I think, was it one of the people of the New Orleans Saints? He called, messing with him or whatever. These people, they were just doing the most, right? But he did get picked up. So I want to play the video about when he found out he was selected, Shedeur, and everything. And then I want to get to, after that, the reaction of the Browns organization and just kind of what I've been hearing about why he even got picked up. So let me go ahead on and cue this up real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go right here. I was sitting at the dog like, oh, Lord, what's going on? I see Pilar over there, and, she's always around us sons. And shout out to Pilar and all of that. But they was happy. They put on the praise dance music, and they just started dancing. Those young men are, God-fearing young men. And Shiloh, his other brother, he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, okay? But Shiloh was really the story. I'm sorry, Shedeur was really the story, because of where he placed. Now, Tom Brady barely got in. I think he got in the sixth round, and look at what Tom Brady did, right? And anybody know anything about Shedeur, Tom Brady is the one that advises him, or he also, gives him some pointers, coaching him and stuff like that. So Tom Brady is really, behind Shedeur in a lot of ways, right? And shout out to Tom Brady. He's Hall of Fame quarterback. So we already know his winning streak. But anyway, now the story was when he got selected, how the Browns organization, how they face this and different things, how it was. And I want y'all to think about this when you watch this. If you knew you got hired for a job and the people on the job that hired you had their faces like this, would you want to work for them? Let me go ahead and cue this up real quick, ladies and gentlemen.
When we saw your guys' reaction in the war room, it just didn't look necessarily exuberant.
I think we're probably just tired from the weekend.
Those clips, it's not timed up to exactly the right
when
time.
We're actually
so I wouldn't don't read too much into that.
I think Shedeur, he is probably a little bit opposite in terms of his personality of his dad. Obviously a little bit quieter, a little bit more introverted. But we felt good with him. We felt good with him as a person. He works hard. He's a really good kid. He wants to be great. His teammates, loved him in Colorado, and I know he'll come in here ready to work. Ready to try and put his best foot forward in all areas of competition. Message to him, it's really all this. It's like, look, got to come in and work, and you got to come in and compete. That's the message. Nothing's given. Given the nature of the weekend for him, relative to, let's say, external expectation versus what happened, we did tell him that it really doesn't matter where you picked, it's what you do from that point forward, because that's the reality for all the guys that we selected this weekend. In terms of his reaction, I just say it was probably a mixture of gratitude, relief, and determination. That would probably be the best way to characterize it. But he's certainly ready to go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you saw the people that hired you had a face like that about you coming on board, now the word on the street is the owner is the one that made that call. The owner was sitting, you couldn't see, to the, I guess on the screen to the left. He was sitting there, and they say the owner made that call. And if I was the owner of the Browns, I'd have made that call a long time ago, actually, if I was. So with him being picked up, y'all say like in the 5th round, at 144 pick, normally you don't get that kind of big contract like they say the first rounders would get. But let's get into, what the folks was saying over the weekend, right? Oh, they had a lot to say about Shedeur. And I'm not talking about the folks that said this is ridiculous. What in the hell is going on? No. We talking about the collusion. Because the NFL will collude against a player. Look at Colin Kaepernick, prime example. They colluded against him because how dare he took a knee, right, and got him out of the NFL. They didn't say he was a horrible player, he couldn't play anymore, right? It would have made the NFL look a lot better to bring him back. And if he just bombed out, then they'd be like, hey, well, we brought him back, So that's that. But they will collude against a player. These owners don't look like us at all. We working for them as FBAs, right? And because they don't look like us, that's why this collusion happened. Now, there should be a push for some black ownership. It should, because how you got this league and no black ownership? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is that? But the folks that said that, well, what happened to Shedeur wasn't about race. Of course, they the experts about race, always telling the victims of racism when something is not about race, right? Yes, Veronica said they didn't look happy with the enthusiasm and celebration. No, they didn't look happy. Now, the excuse was they had a brother by the name of Cam Ward. There was a quarterback, and he went in the first round. So it's not about race. They picked up, I think the Tennessee Titans picked up Cam Ward. It's not about race. What are y'all talking about? A lot of black players got picked up in this draft. It's nothing about race. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. See, let me tell you the problem with black people like Shedeur, whether it's a black man, a black woman, even a black child. We've seen this. Anytime a black woman, man, or child is confident in themselves, they have some swag, they got some bravado, they're not humble enough, right, for these folks. Because you have to understand, what they define as humble is not what we may define as humble, right? Now, from what I see about Shedeur, he seems like a humble young man. You know what I'm saying? He's not his father. That's true. He's not Dion. He's flashing his own way, but he's not Dion. Okay? And with that being said, we know the kids in our community, and even the coach said it, because that's true. I'm sorry, the GM. He was the GM. Said it. He's kind of quiet. He don't seem like it, but he is. You know what I'm saying? He don't have that bravado like Dion. And that's okay. He don't supposed to. He's his own young man. but they don't like confidence. They also didn't like the family structure he come from. See, what they like is for a black athlete to come from abject poverty. They would love if Shedeur came from, if Deion was in jail, or Deion did a bid and maybe he just got out and he didn't know nothing about Deion at all. You know what I'm saying? Him living with, Pilar is his mother. So him living with Pilar, a single mother, she's struggling, right? She's struggling, working a job every day, working 60, 70 hours a week, living in the hood somewhere on Section 8, just barely making it. And then he becomes a great athlete. And then he makes it to the NFL. And then he up there talking about he going to buy his mama a house because his mama never owned a home before. And saying he didn't know his daddy. And all. Listen, they love that. They love black people like that. They love them. They love them. They love them. They love them. A young man like Shedeur, who grew up with his parents, he don't want for nothing. He don't want for nothing now. Forget growing up. He don't want for nothing now. This young man has made a lot of money off of the NIL. And the NIL, those of you not in the sports world, in the college, they can get name, image, and likeness deals. So the college players now can get paid. Back in the day, the only thing the college players would get is a scholarship. And the college sports was making so much money off of these kids. And the freaking coaches was making so much money off these kids. That's why guys like Nick Saban retired. He didn't retire because he said he hated the game of football. No, he retired because he didn't like the freedom that the college players was having now. That just really bothered him. And a lot of these black kids going to be paid, but also the white kids and any other kid that play in college football, they don't get paid, and why not? Why not? When you're an athlete, you live that. You can't work a regular job. Why can't you get paid? Why should you be sitting up there having to eat ramen noodles while the college is making billions of dollars? Why can't you get a dime? So the NIL deal is benefiting black kids early. You have a lot of kids in college now that's trying to extend their time in the college because of NIL. They're not trying to rush to get out of college and go to NFL because, hey, I can get paid now. I ain't got to wait to go to NFL because now everybody get picked up in the NFL. So that's beautiful. You know how many people that done 4 years of college football and didn't go to the league? Now, if they got an NIL deal, they did their money right, saved it or whatever, live minimally off of it, they can have some money to jumpstart their life. But prior to that, they didn't have that. So you have Shedeur as one of the poster children of the NIL deal, okay? So they said that he made, last season, $4 million. They said if he would have stayed one more year, he could have made $6 million on NIL alone. Now, let's look at that plantation called the NFL. They don't like any kind of people that don't need them. Shedeur don't need the NFL, other he just want to play. But he got his own money. His father also got him too, right? He got a good father. They don't like to see black men or young women with a black father. Look at Venus and Serena. Look at all the hell they tried to cause them when it was coming up. You remember that famous interview when Richard Williams had got up on that interviewer for trying to talk down to Venus because she was confident? And these were little girls. And they just couldn't stand that little girls were confident in themselves. And because they had a black man right there, Richard Williams, he went in on them. Because a black man shows that they're protected. I know sisters do their best as moms, but it's the man's job to protect. And they don't want to see black men around their children. Even if you're not in the sports world. They don't want to see black men in the house. They don't want to see black men around their children because if the women don't have no man, no husband, they're vulnerable. And in this system, they love to see black women, black children vulnerable. They have a big issue because not only is Shedeur Sanders around, he's involved. He won't let his sons sign no contract that's going to screw them down the line. And they can't stand that about Shedeur, because Shedeur played at the highest level. He's a Super Bowl champion. Okay? So you can't say he was a scrub. And he played Major League Baseball. He was a dual athlete. So you can't say nothing about his father. His father's Hall of Fame, so you can't say he don't know what he's talking about. Right? So they say, oh, we got to deal with Dion. No. What your problem is, you're saying dealing with Dion. No, Dion is not going to let y'all screw over his sons like y'all like to do some of these black boys that don't have the right protection. See, mom don't know about it. Mom like, hey, just sign that contract. This is great. And mom just it's nothing against mom, what I'm saying. Or Dion not going to let them get no agent that's going to screw them over too. Because a lot of these athletes are screwed over by the agents. Bad deals, etc. And then you see a lot of these guys going broke. Another thing about Dion's sons that they didn't like. I know they didn't like this, and I don't care what you say. Did you see Becky and them sitting next to Shedeur and Shiloh in that video? Hold on. Let me just put it back up here for a second. I'm going to pause this. You don't see Becky and them around Shedeur. You don't see Becky and them around Shiloh. You don't see it. You see mama, you see sister, you see people with the camera people, but you don't see that. So they don't even have that, okay, well, he going to get in with Becky and them and he going to transfer all that wealth he going to make right back to Becky and them, in their community, putting it right back in their community. So he don't even have that image. See, if he had Becky and them in this image, and they'll be kind of like, I don't like him, but okay, we got our hands in it, right? We in there. But no, they not in there, and I don't think Pilar would like that either, okay? I don't think she would. So I just wanted to kind of point that out to you. And you never really seen Dion messing with him either. Think about it. All Dion's wives, he had, I know Pilar was a second wife. He had another wife, Shedeur Sanders Jr., his other son, was a light-skinned black woman, right? And then they was engaged to Tracy Edmonds, but it didn't work out. I mean, they kind of broke it apart. But, he always been tied to, sisters in the community, Dion. And you never heard no scandals with Dion. You ain't hearing about Dion talking about no $50 million lawsuit, right? You hear that about Dion. So they can't use that angle either to get at Dion's sons, right? So of course, to hurt Dion, they're trying to hurt his sons. And think about Shedeur. It's a miracle that Shedeur is even in the draft, because Colorado did not have an O-line at all. And that young man was sacked so many times. And to say that he was still healthy, God was with him. Now, I know they trying to get their O-line and all that now, and probably going to fix that issue. But when you're a quarterback, you got to have an offensive line or you're not going to last. See, guys like Tom Brady, guys like Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, and all these guys, they offensive line is why they can stay in the pocket like that. That's why they can look around all day long and see where somebody's at, because you got a good offensive line. If you look at all the great quarterbacks, their offensive line made them great. So if Shedeur, let's say he come into the Browns, let's say if he can get a starting position, let's say he could, why not? And he got a good offensive line, there's no telling what that kid will do. And all this, knowing Shedeur's attitude, is going to make him hungry. It's going to make him extremely hungry. And that's why I like about his attitude. I mean, he see all the stuff they're doing to him. You think Dion is not telling them? If you saw the video where they were talking about, man, he said, man, I don't know what this is. I think one of them said, I think it was a child said it's a devil or something like that. Because they know what it was. They know exactly what it was. Now, historically, hold on, what y'all say? Okay, you say they tried to, they say another angle. Denise said they tried to sink Shedeur in the draft to sabotage Dion's coaching job at Colorado. Some of the players already went to the transfer portal. Okay, let them go. Let them go. Let me tell you about people leaving you. If that's what it took for them to leave, say bye because they wasn't there for the right reason. If you there for the right reason, it don't matter what happened with Shedeur. You or you. What they got to do with you? Everybody, look, when you hear all the sports analysts, no matter who said, all of them was in unison. They said they never seen that before. They've never seen it. All of them said it. So you can't say that, I don't want to play for Colorado because of this. No. If I heard an analyst say, he had a bad combine. Oh, he did this wrong. He did that wrong. I don't know if he's going to get drafted. Now, when they all talking like that in unison, that's a different conversation, right? But all of them said that he should have went the first round, at minimum the second round. Everybody said this. So, no, that was them trying to humble that young brother. Look at Muhammad Ali. They didn't like Muhammad Ali either. Why? Because Muhammad Ali had mouth, and Muhammad Ali backed it up. They have a history of that. Let's get out the sports world. Even if you are in the business world, if you are good in business or whatever, they trying to sabotage your business. You know how many FBAs have been put on a tree for having a successful business? So many times. That's the main reason why Black Wall Street, Rosewood, and all these other things that happen to them, because they don't like success. They don't like to see black success, and surely they don't like you to have black confidence. They don't like also about Shedeur and Shiloh that they're clean. There's no scandals attached to them. They don't like that. You can't get no cleaner than Shiloh and Shedeur. They don't like it. They say, like, what are we going to do with them? Like, my God, man, come on. You know what I'm saying? You sitting up there got faces because he's on the Cleveland Browns. I'm like, I'll be happy to have him. And let me tell you something, a lot of people saying about Pittsburgh, like Mike Tomlin. They say, Mike Tomlin probably going to pick him up in Pittsburgh. Or maybe Baltimore will pick him up. I'm pretty sure them teams probably would have picked him up. But the owners are on some collusion. That's what it was. They don't like a confident. Let me tell you what kind of black man they like, a woman. Yeah, sir. I'm so happy to be here, sir. That's what they want. That's what they want. Oh, I'm so happy you gave me this opportunity, sir. That's all they want to hear from you. But if you confident and say, yeah, I'm going to be legendary. I already know. Man, just give me the ball. I got it. Oh, no. Who he think he is? Another reason why they don't like it, because that kind of confidence is intoxicating, okay? It's intoxicating to, first of all, black men. When other black men see a black man like that, successful, good at what he do, not backing down, confident, got swag, got all of that, that inspires other black men to be the same way. Because in this society, they want black men beaten down, low self-esteem, not having respect. You know what I'm saying? They want us to be the Rodney Dangerfield, talking about no respect. That's how they want us as black men. They don't want us confident. They don't want us walking with some sort of bravado. They don't want us to be masculine. They don't want us to be like in no trouble, clean. You know what I'm saying? They don't want none of that for us. They don't want us with a father in our household as black men. They don't want that we have an example of a father and then we can follow the footsteps of our father. They don't want that. This is why they went hardcore to try to break the black family. I said to break the black family after the civil rights movement. And the first thing they went to do was attack the black man. Because you remove the black man, the women and children have no protection. And we've talked about this several times, that when you take away the man, the government quickly went in and tried to replace the man with social programs. So it can cause a issue with the black man and woman relationship. And it did for a time. But now America's imploding on itself, and these social programs, people like Trump go snipe them away much as possible, even though white folks use social programs way more than black folks do. So when you see a young brother like that, or when you see leaders like Ibrahim Traore, when you see a leader like that, now they want to get that brother, Julius Malema in South Africa. when you had brothers like Malcolm X, brothers like Minister Louis Farrakhan, right? Brothers like Khalid Muhammad. Every time you got some brothers like that who's not afraid, brothers that's confident in themselves, brothers that other black men in particular can look up to and say, yeah, I like that brother. I wanna look at what he doing, and I want to kind of mimic some of what I'm doing like him, man. 'Cause I like when he walk around, he get respect. He ain't got to beg nobody for it. He just command that kind of respect when he come in the room. Brothers like that. And in the system of white supremacy, they can't really do what they need to do with a bunch of black men not having low self-esteem and feeling they can't be respected, and black men being downtrodden, and black men not having no role models to look at. Oh no. We gotta get rid of that. We gotta shut that down. We gotta humble this young man. We gotta humble this leader. We gotta do something with him, because it can't spread. Also, even in their community, trust me, Shiloh gonna have so many of them Beckys trying to choose on him in Cleveland. It's gonna be crazy. I'm telling you, they coming. I mean, they was already coming at him in Colorado, but they really coming in Cleveland. That's another thing, because those same men, Brad and them, they so jealous of a black man on a good day. And that kind of black man, any woman want to get at that kind of black man. Any woman. They don't like that. Just imagine how they think in their mind. They got all the power. They got all the military and all that, but yet they really don't have the respect. They really don't have the respect. Black folks can have minimal and get way more respect than they have with all this power and government, and they don't get respect like that. Nobody respects them. They have to get respect through fear. They got to take your life, take your freedom. They got to do something to get respect. They can't just walk in a room and be like, oh man, I respect that dude. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they don't like. Even when they got money, a lot of them. People like, okay, I mean, ain't nothing about him special. You know what I'm saying? But a brother just have $1 million and he'll get more respect than a doggone Bill Gates would. Just using him for example. Bill Gates got a lot of money, but people look at him like he lame. Yeah, he got money, but he lame. But a person look at Shedeur and he'll get more attention all day long. A rapper will get more attention than a Warren Buffett or Mark Zuckerberg. Like, nobody like, okay, he got money. Yeah, he run Facebook, but he ain't nobody look to say, oh, I want to be like that guy. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they always trying to stifle black men. They want to dim our light, black men. They always want to dim our light. They don't mind the light of a black woman shining, because that's not a threat to them. A black woman having some money or shining is not a threat. But a black man, because the black man, let me tell you something, the scriptures teach without a vision the people perish. The vision is given to the man. That's what the vision is given to. So you stop the black man, you stop the vision, you stop the protection, you break the family. That's why the black men are so heavily under attack. Yes, black women are attacking the society too. Yes, they are. But if they're going to look at who's the real threat, it's the black man. So we got to keep black men humble, tame, and in control. Now, Shedeur was, yes, sir. I'm so happy to be selected, sir. Oh, Shedeur's a great kid. I love him. You know what I'm saying? In the back of their mind, man, it don't matter how much money we give him. He already got money. So he ain't got to walk around. And let me tell you, I know that feeling. Let me tell you, I know that feeling on a small scale. Let me tell you how I know it. When I was working my petrochemical job for some years, actually, I didn't need the money. I was there, but I didn't need the money. I was making enough money to sustain my family and pay my child support at the time with what I did off of this. I was working that job because at the time I chose to. And it was also another strategy while I was still working the job. And they knew I didn't need that job. They knew that. They knew, let me tell you something, the day I told them, hey man, don't call me for no overtime. Give it to them other guys because they need it. I don't need overtime a day from you. And he looked at me And so, you don't need no overtime? No, I don't need a thing. Give it to those other guys. They need it. They never called me for overtime either. Never. And I appreciate them for it. But then they mind, it was like, he don't need no overtime? What he got going on, right? And when you don't need something, you there because you want to be. Okay, if you let me go tomorrow, I don't care. I'm cool. I'm here because I want to be here. I'm not here because I need you. And one thing about the folks, they want us to need them. They want us to need them. That's where a lot of their power rely from. That's why they want us broke and destitute. They don't want us to be happy and free and successful because we don't need them when we happy, free, and successful. We don't need them. They want us downtrodden, upset, crying, boo-hooing, low self-esteem, sick all the time, not prioritizing our health, whether, us going to the doctor we should, watching our diet, doing all that. They want us downtrodden because we need them. But we good. We don't need them. We don't need nothing from them. And they don't like that. They don't like it. So the attack on Shedeur Sanders in particular was completely racial. It was racial because we've seen it before. Muhammad Ali, the Williams sisters, and many others. Colin Kaepernick, we've seen that in real time. We've seen it. Like I said, the thing is, these people don't do nothing new. They don't do nothing new. If you've seen it once from them, you'll see it again because they're not a progressive people. That's why it's easy to clock them. It's very easy. They do nothing new. They say the same things. It's not about race. Oh, look, this black person they selected. See, it's not about race. And then you find out what it's really about. So, oh, let's see who that black person is versus this black person if it's not about race. On the jury. Well, he got convicted. They had black people on the jury. And then you find out what kind of black person on the jury. What kind of black person? Jesse Lee Peterson? Or what kind of other, what a black immigrant that don't like FBAs? That kind of black person? Because you're not going to put a black person that's objective. You're not going to put a black person and say, wait a minute, I know y'all railroading that brother. I know y'all railroading this sister in this courtroom. Yeah, nah. At minimum, I'm hanging this jury. At minimum. I see the play. That's why they don't. Listen, I know they're not going to put me on no jury. And I used to be, I would say, huh? I remember my homeboy told me that a few years ago. He said, Phil, you'll never get selected for jury duty. I was like, why? I said, I'll go do jury duty. He said, when you do jury duty, then people know what you got going on. He said, all the stuff you talk about, they ain't gonna pick you. I said, man, I'll go though. He said, yeah, you'll go, but you're not gonna get picked. And I haven't been picked a day in my life. Not one. I'm like, shoot, I'll be on the one. But if I listen to that case and pay attention and see that person get railroaded, oh, shoot, I'm hanging that jury. I'm hanging it. He ain't going. You're going to do another case without me not around. You ain't about to get over on a brother or sister, not with me in that jury box. No. That's why I encourage black people, go do jury duty. Don't get out of it. Go. You may be the one selected to assist another FBA. Don't try to get out of stuff all the time. Just like I tell you, you need to have your passport. You need to have your driver's license, your voter registration card. All that stuff I'm telling you need to have. I hope you got your real ID. Hopefully y'all do. Or you're not going to be able to fly domestically until you get a real ID. Now, the real ID in most states, at least my state, most states will get that star on your driver's license. That's what they call a real ID. Or you may have to have your passport to fly in the United States. So letting y'all know that's coming up very shortly. I mean, I think my state started that years ago. They just finally implementing the real ID thing. You said that you think the Browns wanted Shedeur the whole time and the NFL colluded and said two things could be true. Yeah, two things can be true. I'm shocked that Pittsburgh didn't get him. I'm like, I was sure Mike Tomlin would have got him, and they need a quarterback. So, but you know, that collusion and them owners, like I said, that commissioner, Roger Goodell and all them, he's a figurehead. He don't run nothing. He really don't. I don't think Roger Goodell is a bad guy. I don't think he is. But his hands is tied. He can't tell the owners what to do with that league. He can just set some rules, but he can't make them do anything. He couldn't make them bring Kaepernick back because the owners literally run that league. Eric say passport is next for you. Okay. All right. Well, shoot, if you got a passport, yeah, travel. Like I said, I think it'd be good if people, come on through to Ghana. I think that'll be good in November. I think one year I did Kenya with my family. It was actually Thanksgiving. We did Thanksgiving in Kenya. That was different. All of us did Thanksgiving in Kenya. That was cool. But like I said, this Ghana trip won't be during Thanksgiving. But yeah. So y'all have to understand that they don't like a confident black man or woman or even black child. They hate that. No matter what you do, they hate your confidence. You can be confident about a spelling bee. They hate that. You can be confident about, a math contest, science contest. They can't stand a confident black child or black man and black woman. But that, you know what? You be confident. You don't dim your light for them. You shine your light so bright that it blinds them. Don't dim your light for nobody. I'm going to repeat this again. Don't dim your light for nobody. I don't care if somebody in your own family is trying to get you to dim your light. Do not dim your light. If they can't stand your light, well, they need to move around. Don't you do that. God got you that way for a reason. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, they don't like to see us right, Veronica. They don't like us to see us confident and happy. They don't like it. They don't like us to see us having fun either. They can't stand us having fun. Go watch the podcast I made the other day about when they was talking about black folks on the cruise ship having fun and all the comments they was making about it. But who cares what they say? Like I said in that video, them folks are the type, they hating outside the club because they can't get in. That's really what that is with them. All they can do is hate. Miserable existence to be in, right? But anyway, thank y'all, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you download the ADNC app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. Remember, Android users, update the app. And make sure you click the link for the Ghana tour in November. We'd love y'all to come with us. You never know who's gonna show up. I know one girl was on the last one, so you never know who's gonna show up on this one because somebody else from the team will be there, that's for sure, outside myself. I know when you have the meet and greet and all of that, because we make sure to do a meet and greet on all of them, right? But thank y'all for listening. We'll see y'all in the next